तो हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। और आज हम कंटिन्यू करने जा रहे हैं हमारी ह्यूमन डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम की जो वीडियो थी। हमने जो पिछला छोड़ दिया था वो। और चलिए एक छोटा सा रिकैप लेते हैं पहले उससे। और चलिए शुरू करते हैं। तो हमने पिछली बार बकल कैविटी किया था। तो उसमें हमने क्या पढ़ा था कि सबसे ज़्यादा मेजर जो वो हिस्सा होता है, एक सेकेंड, सबसे ज़्यादा मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशन सलाइवा में कंट्रीब्यूट करने का होता है सबमैंडिबुलर ग्लैंड का, और उससे कम होता है पैराटिड ग्लैंड का, और उससे ज़्यादा कम होता है सबलिंगुअल ग्लैंड का। और सबमैंडिबुलर ग्लैंड मिक्स्ड सलाइवा से क्रिएट करता है, जैसे कि मतलब मॉडरेटली सेरस भी, मॉडरेटली थिक भी, मतलब विस्कस भी। इसलिए यहाँ पे लिखा है मॉडरेटली विस्कस। एंड दिस सलाइवा कंटेन्स बोथ म्यूसिन्स एंड एंजाइम्स बोथ, and that means it can be a mixture of the parotid glands saliva also. And if we mix the sublingual gland saliva and the parotid gland saliva, we will get something similar to the submandibular gland saliva. Okay, so in the parotid gland we talked about it is a very serous solution, that it is a very watery secretion. And then it lacks mucin, and it only contains enzymes. And then we talked about the sublingual gland, in which we talked that it was a very viscous solution, and it contributes the least, only 5%. And then it was a very viscous, thick, and it only contains mucin. Then next we learnt about the human dentition, that this was the human dental formula. And if I erase this two, this part which I have left with is only of the middle. If I divide the whole upper jaw and upper jaw and lower jaw from the middle, this is of only one part, like this one part only. That if I just write it here, and if I just don't erase this two, then it will be the formula of this whole. And then if I move ahead, then we learnt about the esophagus, that how the food moves, how the bolus moves from the esophagus. The motion of the bolus from the esophagus to the stomach is called the peristaltis movement. And then we learnt about the esophageal sphincter and the epiglottis and the esophageal sphincter play a very important role in the transportation of food from the buccal cavity to the stomach. And then we learnt about the cardiac sphincter, which is somewhere here. And then next we saw about the gastroesophageal reflux disease, in which we learned that if the food is the HCl comes from the stomach to the neck, it makes a burning sensation in our neck and chest, that we also call as chest burn, cardiac burn. And here is the lining of mucus, and this lining of mucus gets burnt by the HCl present in the stomach. And that is why the gastroesophageal reflux disease is caused. And then we look at the stomach. We have looked at the stomach, that it has four layers: mucosa, submucosa, muscle layer, serosa. Outermost is the serosa, and the innermost is the mucosa. And then we talked about the rugae, which is the floor of the stomach, in which the gastric pits are present, which release the HCl and the other gastric juices. And then we discussed about the pyloric sphincter, which is placed near the pylorus here. And then we learned about the cardiac sphincter here, which was here. And next we learnt about how protein is digested. The protein is actually partially digested. And now here we come to the end of recap, that we have learned this also. But now what is left, that protein is digested partially, because the protein, when it is digested, it converts by the action of pepsin, it converts into polypeptides. And what are polypeptides? These are just proteins, proteoses, and peptones. And this pepsin is called the, we can say it is called the protease, because it digests protein, and which with the substance which digests the starch, or we can say the carbohydrate, is called the carbohydrates. Okay, so we will move to the next. and we went to the liver, which is just placed, we can say, up below our left lung. Okay, so liver plays a very important role in our body. So what is that role? It actually plays more than 300 roles in our body. It consists of more than 300 processes, and some are given here. It metabolizes carbohydrates, amino acids, and fat, and it energy homeostasis via glycogenesis, ये सब प्रोड्यूस करता है, glycogenesis and glucogenesis and so on, ketogenesis and repackaging of excess FA, and just a minute, and it secretes, it synthesizes the albumin. इसके secretion और synthesizes क्या होते हैं? It synthesizes and secretes albumin and plasma proteins, clotting factor, and the transportation, and it transports protein and insulin, like growth factor 1, and the cholesterol, bile salts, and the glutathione. Okay, so next we'll see the purification. What it purifies. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, so it releases some things in the bile also. It purifies actually the bilirubin, ammonia in form of urea, toxins, drugs, hormones, and then it stores. It stores glycogen, vitamin A, vitamin B12, and iron, copper. Okay, so vitamin B12 is actually absorbed by a chemical which is called the intrinsic factor, which is very important for the absorption of vitamin B12. It because without this intrinsic factor, the B12 will not be absorbed. Okay, so next, bile, the main secretion of the liver. So liver mainly secretes the bile, and it mainly consists of water, 97.6% water, and then solids are mainly consists of 2.4%. Okay, and in the solid there are two categories, which is organic substances, inorganic substances. Okay, in organic substances, bile, it includes bile salts, pigments, cholesterol, fatty acid, lecithin, and mucin. Okay, just a minute. Yes, the mucin, which we have seen there in the mouth, which helps in lubricating the food, and then the fatty acid, the cholesterol. Actually, cholesterol is a waste. It the liver just keeps it in the bile, because it has to be uh, released in the duodenum, and it is to be gone to the intestine, and then it is released out of the body. Cholesterol, it is of no use. It is a waste, and bile pigment also, which consists of bilirubin and biliverdin. And the inorganic substances, which is made up of sodium, calcium, potassium, chlorides, and bicarbonates. Okay, so here was the liver's functions. And what is liver? It has two big lobes here, right lobe, left lobe, and it's the largest gland of our body. And here it is is storage device where it stores the bile, which is called the gallbladder. And then we come to the duodenum. Okay, so duodenum also plays in a very important role. It's the starting of the small intestine. Then its length is of 25 centimeter, approximately 25 centimeter, and the pancreas and the gallbladder or the liver secrete their secretions in the duodenum through these ducts. Here the liver is coming, and it is joining through this duct here, and then here also the main pancreatic duct and sphincter. Okay, and this is the accessory duct, pancreatic duct, and here is the bile duct from which the bile is secreted, and from here the all the secretions are secreted. And what is secreted? Let's see, the enzymes. Okay, actually what happens that let me clear the screen first. Okay, so what actually happens is that the enzymes are like zymogens, which is in the inactive form. Okay, trypsinogen. Trypsin is the active form, and the inactive form is the trypsinogen. Chymotrypsinogen, active form, proteolysis and the elastase, proteolastase and elastase, and procarboxypeptidase and the carboxypeptidase and peptidase and the prophospholipase and the phospholipase. These are the chemicals or the enzymes which come in inactive form but are converted due to some actions by the activators. They are converted into active form. Okay, so mainly the work is of trypsin, and how trypsin gets activated. It gets activated through the enterokinase, the hormone, or we can say the chemical which helps in the activation of the trypsin. Okay, and then trypsin activates the rest of the chemicals, and then some of these are in the activated form already. They don't need to be activated. Okay, so lipase, amylase, cholesterolase, and ribonuclease and deoxyribonuclease, and here we can see cleaves the internal peptide bonds. The trypsin cleaves the internal peptide bonds. What it means that the peptides or the polypeptides it breaks their bonds, and the other also chymotrypsin also helps in breaking the bonds. And next we will learn them one by one, and it's not so important. This is just extra information. You can read it. And cleaves means breaking. Okay, so jejunum, the next part of the intestine, and it is 2.5 meter long. Just after the duodenum, the jejunum starts. And why it is named as jejunum? Because it is always found empty when the person is dead, and when the body is just sent for the postmortem, and it is, and at that place the jejunum is always found empty, and the food is whether in the ileum and it is whether in the duodenum. Okay, so it's 2.5 meter long, and then सारा डाइजेशन यहाँ पे कंप्लीट हो जाता है. ऑल द डाइजेशन इज कंप्लीटेड हेयर, एंड फिर उसके बाद यहाँ पे एब्जॉर्प्शन शुरू हो जाता है. यहाँ पे भी अब फिर एब्जॉर्प्शन शुरू हो जाएगा माइक्रोविलाय और विलाय के थ्रू, और फिर न्यूट्रिएंट्स एब्जॉर्ब किए जाएंगे यहाँ पे. और उसके बाद इलियम में भी जो 3 मीटर लॉन्ग होता है, और उसमें भी फिर कुछ माइक्रोविलाय और विलाय होते हैं, और फिर उसके बाद वो भी एब्जॉर्प्शन का काम करते हैं, और फिर उसके बाद वो लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन में पुश करने में भी मदद करते हैं मटेरियल को जो भी बचा हुआ है. हाँ, और ओके, सो इंटेस्टाइन में किस चीज़ का डाइजेशन होता है? जो हमने पढ़ा था वहाँ पे पीछे कि यहाँ पे अभी डाइजेशन कंप्लीट होता है जेजुनम में, तो वो क्या किस चीज़ का डाइजेशन कंप्लीट होता है? अब यहाँ पे वो डाइपेप्टाइड्स बन गए. जो पॉलीपेप्टाइड्स थे वो डाइजेस्ट हो होके ब्रेक हो होके डाइपेप्टाइड्स बन गए हैं. ओके, सो डाइपेप्टाइडेज एक केमिकल की मदद से वो अपनी सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं, जो कि है अमाइनो एसिड्स. ओके, सो माल्टोज जो है, जो हमारे माउथ पे कन्वर्ट हुआ था, और वो माल्टेज के थ्रू ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ ग्लूकोज. ओके, 1 molecule of lactose gives us the 1 molecule of glucose and 1 molecule of galactose with the help of lactase, and sucrose gets converted into glucose and fructose with the help of sucrase, and the fats gets digested through lipase. Okay, so fats में होता क्या है कि ये इतनी जल्दी डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो पाते, बहुत बड़े बड़े मॉलिक्यूल्स होते हैं. ओके, सो होता क्या है, जो बाइल सॉल्ट्स होते हैं, बाइल सॉल्ट्स उनको छोटे छोटे पीसेस में ब्रेक करते हैं फैट को, और उसके बाद लिपेज जो होता है उन पे रिएक्ट करता है. ओके, सो ये होता है फैट्स के साथ, और फिर उनकी सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म में वो आ जाते हैं फैटी एसिड और ग्लिसरॉल. ओके, सो ये इंटेस्टाइन में जो भी रिएक्शंस होते हैं ये उनका सीक्वेंस है. और उसके बाद विलाय, और इन सिंगुलर फॉर्म विलस, प्लूरल फॉर्म विलाय, एंड दीज आर अ माइक्रो size, very small size, present in the intestine, both in large intestine and small intestine. They just help in the this. You can see that it is not a villi. This is just a structure on which these villi are present. This is very small, and this is so much small that you can see that you can not see with this with the naked eyes. Okay, so These help in the absorption, like these epithelial cells on which the microvilli are lying here, like this one, and these help in the absorption. When food passes from here, all the nutrients which these epithelial cells can absorb, they just absorb them and pass them through this structure, and then they go into these nerves, which is the, like we can say, the nutrients which can be absorbed directly into the blood vessels go directly into the blood vessels. Otherwise, the fatty acids go in this lacteal. Okay, so by entering in this lacteal, after that they just go in the lymphatic vessels, the lymphatic capillaries. They flow in the lymphatic capillaries, and after that they just submerge in the nerves, submerged in the blood vessels after a long period of time, in which they are getting the fatty acids are getting converted, because it is of very oily base, and this cannot be just passed in the blood vessels directly. And then we come to the large intestine. We are going to end this very soon, because we have come to the large intestine, and last part is the anus. And the food is now reached here at the end of small intestine. Now, how will it enter to the intestine? There is a sphincter here also, ileocecal sphincter. That this part is called cecum, and this part is called ileum. That is why its name is ileocecal sphincter, because it connects those two parts. Okay. So next, when they enter this part, they don't find any way more ahead. They just find a wall. That is why it is called cecum, which means blind. Okay. And then they just get upward in the ascending colon. They just pass through there, and other nutrients like sodium chloride and the potassium and कार्बोनेट्स जो हैं वो इसमें एब्जॉर्ब हो जाते हैं, और म्यूकस भी। और उसके बाद यहाँ पर एब्जॉर्प्शन होता है सोडियम और क्लोराइड का, और यहाँ पे सेक्रीशंस भी होते हैं इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स के, जो कि होते हैं पोटेशियम और अलग अलग तरह के कार्बोनेट्स और म्यूकस ऑल्सो। अब यहाँ पर हमारे फीसीज का फॉर्मेशन होने लग जाता है, लास्ट वाले फीसीज का। ओके, सो हेयर द फॉर्मेशन एंड स्टोरेज ऑफ फीसीज हैज स्टार्टेड। ओके, फॉर्मेशन हो रहा है पूरे इस जगह से जाते हुए। ओके, लेट मी फाइंड माय पेन। एंड देन यहाँ पे जाके रेक्टम में ये स्टोर हो जाता है। Sorry, this one, and here in the rectum it gets stored, the feces. Okay, so now all the, we can say, our digestion is completed, and now the waste material has to be eliminated from our body. So this is the ascending colon, and this is the transverse colon, and this is descending colon, ostra. So why there are ostra here? Because of this tenia coli. This tenia coli is actually somewhat compressed, and it is compressed, and then liver is actually stick to it, and that is why the liver is the large intestine is also compressed and forms the rings, which is called the hostras. Okay, so now the last part of this chapter, the anus, and here two sphincters are present, two muscular sphincters, in which one of them is voluntary. Okay, so this one, external sphincter, external anal sphincter, is voluntary, and this internal anal sphincter is involuntary. Okay, so when the food reaches this rectum, and the rectum is filled by these feces. Okay, and it is filled by these feces, it puts pressure on the walls of the rectum, and this is where we get the sensation that we have to go and just um, release our feces, defecate ourselves, and and then the feces passes from the anal canal, and from the anal canal, when the inner sphincter gets open, internal anal sphincter gets opened, then it passes through it, and then at last external anal sphincter is opened, and then the food passes away. The, we can say, the feces passes away. Okay, so this muscular relaxation, opening of sphincter, closing of sphincter, is called the defecation reflux. Okay, so this is called the defecation reflux, and this was the end of our lecture of digestive system. I hope you have liked this video, and please subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to like this video. Please share it to everyone you know, and subscribe to my channel, and comment that what you liked in this video, and if I have done something wrong, please tell me. and thank you for watching.